Hey guys, so if you have a Kawai MP11, MP11SE, and you're getting some sticky keys, I'll show you what's causing the issue. At the end of the key, you have this little pad that gets dimpled. It gets dented after prolonged use. So as that happens, the capstan that's supposed to rest on it gets caught a little bit and it causes it to bind. So in order to fix it, it's pretty simple. You just want to replace it with some fresh Teflon. Just like that. This is a fixed key. So the Teflon you can get from McMaster Car or online, but this is, you know, a quality supplier, so that's why I went with it. And you want to get that stuff that's either 0.2 of an inch or about 5 millimeters. It's a little bit thicker than the original that comes on the keys, but I think that's a good thing because then it'll dimple a little bit less. So I'll go ahead and show you how to open up the piano and get this sorted out. I've already removed the screws, but there's basically two on the back, and then going underneath there's just, you're basically going to remove every single screw, including the ones in the back and the thick ones, the really long ones. Then after you're done, you want to sort them into piles. So you've got the two in the back, the thin ones along the perimeter, and then the long thick ones that hold the back in place. Then once you have all the screws out, the top literally just lifts up. And some people take it off, but I'm literally just propping it up like this. So I've already marked the keys that are sticking, but if you need a method to find them, you just want to have a weight. I'm literally using this coaster. So it's just enough weight to depress the key. So you can see the ones that are good depress just fine. That one's okay. But these ones, I'm putting the full weight on it and it's just getting stuck. See, that one's fine, that one's fine, that one's fine. Another thing that you can do is just gently flick the keys like this. And you can see that those take more effort. And they just don't flick downwards. So that's even easier. To take a key out, it's pretty straightforward. You want to grab it by the bottom of the key, not the top, because as I learned, this could come off. And then you just kind of like jiggle it upwards, and then it just comes right out. You've got the key. There's the issue. And then you're also going to want to take the hammer out, which if you let it drop fully, will come out as well. And that's because you want to adjust this maybe like a half turn, just a tiny little bit, to adjust for the extra thickness of the new Teflon that you're adding. In order to get the old Teflon off, I'm going to use a knife and some tweezers. I'm going to try to keep the sticky surface attached to the felt. So I'm using a knife to just kind of gently split it. And then as soon as it starts coming off, grab the tweezers and pull. All while trying to retain the glue on the pad, because you don't want to pull the pad off. So I'm kind of using the knife to scrape the adhesive back onto the pad. And then a lot of people use another layer of double-sided sticky tape in order to get more adhesive on there. Honestly, they're pretty sticky still. So I'm just gonna go ahead and reuse the same adhesive. So here's my sheet of Teflon. I have it kind of clamped down because it keeps curling up on itself, which isn't a problem. But you just wanna use this as a guide to get a little piece of it, and then trim it down a size so it's right, exactly the same size as it was before. And then just attach it. So like I mentioned, because the new Teflon is a little bit thicker, just for good measure, I'm gonna go and give this about a, I don't know, half turn, just to sink it in to allow for more room in there. And then to put in the key, you're gonna wanna put in the hammer first. You kind of feed it upwards, and then put the key in. And then watch for the holes to align in the bottom. Kind of wiggle it in there, and then it pops right in. And now it works perfectly. The only thing you want to check is that the level of the hammers are aligned with the black keys, that this is a black key. So that looks pretty good. It's approximate anyway. It's hard to feel the difference if the levels are slightly off. But if you're really concerned, if you want to have perfectly aligned, then just take it back out and then give this a turn in whatever direction if it's too high or too low. So that's it. You can pretty much go and figure out what keys are bad and then get them fixed. If you notice, I suppose you could do the whole keyboard. It's not that big of a deal. So hopefully this helps you out. If you have any questions, let me know.